Welcome to the Lotto Elite press conference. This is Pro Challenge here. I'm Don Hutchison Hutch with the tournament director, Mr. Ryan Narr. I'll be turning it over to Ryan. We'll be bringing the participants out very shortly. Here we go.
Thanks, Hutch. Really appreciate everybody watching here, live streaming. Appreciate the media here today. Exciting to bring the Lotto Elite Pro Tennis Challenge here to Reading. A lot of work went into this. Couple weeks here being able to put this event together, and we couldn't be more excited to do this and have everybody watching live streaming here, and also our media here as well. What I want to do here first is just go over a couple of preliminary things before we hear from our players. We'll have the players come in here, and Hutch will just do a little interview with each of them, and then we'll wrap things up here in about an hour and 10 minutes. First and foremost, want to just make a couple announcements. All the players were COVID tested yesterday and all did pass that test, so that was great news this morning. So they're all ready to go, and we're following all the safety protocols, on court, off court, social distancing appropriate, so very good news with that. The next thing we have, and the players have just been briefed on this, is the schedule and the order of play for tomorrow, which again, we start at 8:30 a.m. and we're going to be playing until about 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Order of play, and here we go. Group 1, we have our highest ranked player here, that's Denis Kudla. He'll be in Group 1 with Alex Lawson, Nick Bible, and the youngest participant in our draw, Michael Zhang. And they'll be in the morning group starting at 8:30. It'll be Lawson and Bible kicking things off in the morning group, followed by Kudla and Zhang, and then we'll just zigzag our way through the round-robin matches from there. Group number 2, we have our second highest ranked player, 181 in the world, Ty Kwiatkowski, and he's in group number 2, along with Roy Smith, Chad Kissel, and Harris Traceman. So that's Group 1 and Group 2. Group 2 again, it'll be Kwiatkowski and Kissel starting at 2:30. And Smith and Traceman following them up at 3:30. And again, play will be on berkscountytennis.org, live streamed through Starbright Media with commentary from yours truly right here, Don Hutchinson, all day long tomorrow. So if you're watching on the live stream at home, everybody with the media, definitely tune in if you can't make it. A few seats still available. We have extremely limited seating here at the Lotto Elite Pro Tennis Challenge for both days, about 12 seats, but absolutely love for anybody who wants to come out. You can contact us at Berks County Tennis Association. We can get you hooked up with one of the few seats still available. With that, we'll just go over a little bit of the format, everything like that. It's fast four scoring, just so everybody knows that. We talked about that at our initial presser on Wednesday. Fast four scoring day 1, 2 out of 3 sets, no ad with a 10-point match tiebreaker. We will have two chair officials led by our tournament referee, Mr. Glenn Meyer, the 2-time official of the year here, EPD, so really great to have him in here. And yeah, that's about it. On Sunday, we're going to be flipping over 2 out of 3 sets with a 10-point match tiebreaker, regular scoring, and we do have the indoor facility at the Sinking Spring YMCA ready to go if inclement weather does hit. Just a shout out to all of our sponsors, as you can see behind us, Berkshire Hathaway Gary Lando, USTA Middle States and EPD, Laser Fiber, Brenneman Company, PA Dermatology, Liza Witzenheller, absolutely. Danny Trefoy with his 1D Media. Eric Donahue, Remax of Reading. Tom Masano Auto Group hooking us up with the complimentary van rental. And the YMCA of Reading and Berks County, and Leitzel's Jewelry, longtime sponsor of Hits for Hope. So, yeah, absolutely excited to be here. Beautiful day. And first we will have our first player here. I'm going to turn it back over to Hutch, but our first player, if he can make his way up here for his interview, is our top-seeded player here. He's from Arlington, Virginia, career high of 53 in the world, currently ranked 111, Denis Kudla.
Let's welcome Denis in. Nice little knuckles here for you, buddy.
How's it going?
Very good. How are you doing?
Good.
Little humid out here today, but nice.
Yeah, pretty humid. Yeah. I enjoy it.
So you drove in from Alexandria yesterday?
From Arlington, Virginia.
Arlington, okay.
Give him the mic then.
Okay. Let me throw out a question for you, and then I'll give you the mic. Obviously, we've got this COVID going on, and you guys have had your schedule just mixed up like no one can believe, right? So I think the people would like to know what you've done since the schedule's gotten discombobulated and what you've been up to. I mean, you back home watching movies and drinking beer, or are you out there practicing? So give us a little insight of what happens to the pro guys on the tour when things get a little shaky here.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having us here at this tournament. It's a beautiful place. With all this time off, I would say for most of the pros, they kind of took a couple weeks off and really took opportunity to kind of improve their fitness, improve kind of little things in their games. I did not take that route. I decided to stay home and become a whiskey, tequila, and beer enthusiast. And I thought I became really good at it. But I did work out every day, so I kind of kept my COVID-15 at around 15 or 16. But I enjoyed my time off, actually. Being with kind of my family and enjoying this period of time at home where we'll never have this in our career ever again. At least I think so. So until our career is over, we won't get 6 months off. So I'm trying to enjoy all the time I can at home.
Sure. So you were back in Arlington area?
I was, yeah.
Okay.
A little time in Florida, too.
Little time in Florida too. The questions that we have here, at least in my mind, what were the things that were canceled for you? Obviously, we have the Western, Southern, the one in Cincinnati that's going to be played up in New York now, and obviously you're looking forward to the U.S. Open main draw. Were there any other tournaments that were just canceled, pulled out from under, and where you just didn't have anything else to do? And what kind of brought you here? I mean, how did you get here? Obviously, we'd like to thank Dr. Ron and Judy Emke here for their beautiful place. I mean, we watched some of the places down in Florida where they're playing. I think this one is by far one of the nicest venues I've seen. So what brought you here and what things were pulled out from under for you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think around June, we were waiting on what could happen in the summer. DC was kind of hanging on by a thread, especially being my hometown tournament. And then once that got pulled out last second, Cincinnati and New York were kind of what we were waiting for. I still didn't think it was going to happen. Right now, it feels like it's a reality. I'm still kind of see it to believe it mentality. But the biggest tournament for me that took a hit was Wimbledon. It's always my favorite tournament, so it really sucked that they had pandemic insurance. And yeah, so fourth round was my best result there, so loved it. But I decided to come here because I haven't played a pressure match in 6 months, so I think it's super important to get as much as you can with pressure and knowing that there's something on the line, because you just can't replicate that in practice without, maybe putting money out there, but you don't want to do that. So I'm excited to be here. It's a beautiful place. It's exceeded all my expectations. I think it's beautiful. I would stay here for a week, no problem, if they let me. But I think it's going to be great preparation for the U.S. Open, and hopefully it can translate into some good results.
Yeah, sweet. We appreciate you being here. I mean, we always look forward to people coming in from around the country and seeing what we have here in Berks County. I mean, we have a lot of love for tennis. And we have a lot of love for the pros that come in here and participate in a function like this. So thank you very much for coming in. We wish you an awful lot of luck tomorrow. And anything else we can do, just let us know, especially Ryan. I mean, he's the man.
I like it.
and I'm just here to interview you guys. But any other questions? We're good?
Sam, you want to ask questions?
Sam, you have a question?
So in a typical season, how many competitive matches, or what's your usual ramp-up time before a tournament, and how does this year kind of compare?
Well, I would say when you're playing Grand Slams, obviously they're circled on the calendar and they're super important. So honestly, the more the better. If you can get anywhere between 5 and 10 matches that lead up to 3 weeks before the Grand Slam, that's ideal. Sometimes that's a little bit difficult, especially if you're playing at the highest level, because that probably means you're winning a title, which just isn't easy. But getting at least a couple wins under your belt, knowing that you have what it takes to play 5 sets, and that you have the freedom to kind of let your game shine out there, because that's where you have to peak, and we got to peak 4 times a year. But obviously, if that doesn't work, the year kind of so long that you just kind of have to pick and choose your tournaments that you feel like you'll play your 100%. So we circle that on our calendar, and you're really, with our 18 best results, you're looking for 8 or 10 really good weeks. That's kind of what we're looking for. And grass court season, that's for me.
No, it's been a really unique summer, and then I'll let you go. How unique is this tournament and this situation? I mean, not every day you're playing in someone's backyard.
Yeah.
No, I think this is the first time I've ever played a tournament like this. It's definitely unique. If I'm correct, our first couple matches are fast four, right? So I've never played that format. I've only watched it. I know that's a lot of pressure. You can't have a slow start, so we're gonna have to wake up with a couple cups of coffee, not just one. And I look forward to it. I think it's obviously it makes it way better when you have a venue like this and it's so beautiful. The court's perfect. People are friendly, and we look forward to having a great weekend.
Perfect. All good.
Dennis.
Yeah, thanks for Dennis. We'll have you back anytime. You keep on telling us how good we are and how nice the place is. We'll always have you back.
We'll see if I win.
That's right. Appreciate it. Good luck to you. Next man up, Ty Kwiatkowski. Here he comes. Good. Welcome there, Ty. How was the hit this morning?
I hit great. Dennis hit horribly.
Ty said he hit great, Dennis hit horribly. Well, we kind of got the same question for you. You're a man that comes in from Charlottesville, VA, right? The University of Virginia grad, and NCAA champ a couple years ago. Must have been pretty darn cool. And a bunch of time team champion, right? So tell us a little bit about your NCAA championship and your team championship, and then we'll get on to what you did in COVID.
Yeah, I mean, my 4 years at UVA were a really special time, and I actually still live there, so it's fun to now watch the guys that I used to play with, compete, and yeah, I mean, it was an incredible time, and something I'll always remember, and it gave me a really good stepping stone for the tour, and I still kind of feel like I'm new out there, even though I'm 25, and I really was enjoying the progress I was making and the start of the year before COVID came, and I had some time off for the first time in 15 years of my life, so that was nice to spend time with my family and my friends, and now it's Dennis and I are really hungry to get back out there, and we've been working hard with our coach Carlos, and yeah, looking forward to playing tomorrow and then making our way up to New York.
So I think we asked Dennis the same question. Were there any particular events that were pulled out from underneath you very quickly? And obviously you're looking forward to getting up to New York and playing in the Cincinnati, New York event. Maybe the DC event, again, pulled out fairly quickly. But tell us how that went. I mean, when you found out about it, what you did about it, and how much hitting you're getting in right now compared to when you're actually on the circuit and ready to go.
I'm not sure if Dennis already said this, but we were in Indian Wells on a Sunday night getting ready for qualies that started on Tuesday, and they told us, I mean, we found out on Twitter actually, we never even heard from the tournament, that the tournament got canceled on Sunday. Literally the whole draw was there from us qualies guys to, Novak and Rafa, so it was a pretty crazy time, and it was, wild, everyone rushing back to the site to clear their lockers and head out, and from there it was just, one by one tournaments started getting canceled, and at first it was like, wow, I mean, it's going to be nice to have some time off, but then you start getting bored, and but I spent about 2.5 months on the couch. I put on like 20 pounds, got fat, and played a lot of Xbox, but we've been training now for a good 3 months, and the beginning was tough, obviously getting back in shape, but we've been hitting a lot this week. Dennis and I played best of 5 on Tuesday to get ready for New York and this weekend, so yeah, we're feeling good again.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool story. So you guys are actually out in Indian Wells when you found out about it. Wow. Well, and tell us a little bit about how you got invited here, and what your sense of play is here, and what the sense of the court here in the backyard with the beautiful flora and fauna. And tell us a bit about what you're thinking here in Reading, Pennsylvania, actually Wyomissing Borough.
I mean, this court and this home is beautiful, and it's really exciting just to be able to play anything right now. And I think during COVID, you saw a lot of exhibitions pop up, little tournaments similar to this, and for the most part, I didn't play any of them. Just wasn't feeling too excited to compete, just with nothing ranking related on the horizon. But with the U.S. Open around the corner, this is absolutely perfect thing for Dennis and I to play. And we're 2.5 hours from the bubble, and to be here. I mean, the weather today is unbelievable. So I mean, it's gonna be a really fun weekend. Looking forward to it.
Great, appreciate you coming over, Ty, and good luck to you tomorrow. Good luck to everybody tomorrow. I can't root for one guy over the other. I'll be talking about you out there, so play well. Otherwise, I'm going to nail you back here. So.
You have free reign.
Free reign. That's good. We like the free reign. Well, thank you very much for coming over, and best of luck to you. And we'll be seeing you. Sam, you got a question?
Yeah, a couple questions.
Okay.
You mentioned Dennis, and you played earlier this week. How tough is it to simulate the situation where something's on the line and that competitive edge versus just training and getting your work in?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, of course, it's totally different. Playing a practice match than a match with something on it. But that's why it's awesome to be here and play this, because any form of competition, it's going to be streamed. There's going to be a referee, and we got. I mean, this is as real as it can get. So. That's perfect stepping stone for us. And but when Dennis and I practice, it gets pretty heated. Like we hate losing to each other, and so we usually put something on it, whether it's $100 or dinner or something like that. And we trash talk each other. So I'll be chirping him from the sidelines, cheering for everyone else in the draw. So
Perfect. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you very much, Don. Yeah, we love that. Trash talk, and we appreciate it. Now let's welcome in Mr. Chad Kissel.
I did.
Real
I got
stranger.
pretty much everything I needed from that. Yeah, I was able to frame it up good.
Doing good. How are you doing? In from Latrobe.
Yep.
Driving, and Mom come in with you?
No, my brother-in-law did.
Brother-in-law came in. Oh, very nice. And round of golf at Ledge Rock was good yesterday?
Yeah,
It was amazing. So, and I know this guy, as soon as COVID hit, he did not go to the couch, because we've been following Chad around quite a bit. We've had the opportunity to follow you around out of Charlotte and Iowa and here and every place else. So why don't you talk a little bit about your adventures with Ryan Nahr and myself, and to some of the things that you've been doing during COVID, a little bit different from some of the other guys.
Yeah, for sure. I guess I kind of just started my professional career out in January, right before COVID hit. So when it hit, I was just bored and really was still itching to play some tournaments, and I went on the UTR and found a bunch of these UTR men's opens, and I think I've played like 7 tournaments over COVID, and like 4 of them with Ryan. So I've been traveling a lot, getting a lot of practice matches, just trying to stay in the competitive mode and be ready for whenever all the ITF futures and stuff come back out.
So you were playing number 1 over at Valpo, and then after graduating, you started going out and see if you could pursue a career in pro tennis. What was the difference that you found playing number 1 at Valpo, and as soon as you get out and started playing with some of the big boys? I mean, you've had pretty good success this summer. I think 5 finals. Is that what it is? Maybe 5. I forgot we followed you to Harrisburg also. So tell us a little bit of the difference between what you find in the collegiate tennis and now in the pro ranks, when you're bumping up against some of the guys who've been out here a little bit. What's the difference?
I mean, playing 1 in Division I college tennis was very tough, because almost every school you played had a really tough opponent. But I mean, I guess maybe some schools you would face a person where you were a little overmatched for them. But once I got out and started playing the futures, it's like every single match I played was a dogfight. It's like there's no such thing as an easy match or like a walkover. Every single person's out there fighting, and we're having 3-set battles, and that's day after day. So we're all competing at a very high level.
And how about your training, whether it was physical training, whether emotional, mental training? Has your training changed at all from back at Valpo to now out on your own? I think you said your brother-in-law helps, your mom helps, some of your trainers from before. Has there been any big difference in what your training is now, trying to be a pro, rising pro, as opposed to, again, a collegiate player?
Yeah, for sure. I think the biggest thing that helped me take a jump in my game from college to pro right now is At first, just hitting the gym a lot more. You know, in college we maybe did 3 days a week for an hour, but now I'm trying to hit the gym every day for 2 or 3 hours a day. You know, just really, it's more of the fitness aspect. You know, I know my highest level of play can compete with a lot of good players, but it's whether or not my highest level of play can last for 3 hours, 7 days straight. So I think being in your highest level of fitness, I think that's very crucial for the game.
So I've had an opportunity now to watch Chad play in Charlotte, as I said, in Iowa, which was a really unique experience and very cool. And then at the Metzger, I think last weekend we watched you play there. We watched you play on grass. We watched you play on hard courts. We watched you play on clay. Any particular surface that's your favorite? I mean, this one obviously is beautiful, but what would be your favorite?
Yeah, I've gotten pretty lucky and playing on pretty cool surfaces over the past couple weeks, but just from a standpoint of the view in the court, I think right here is probably my favorite, and I love the hard court. That's the surface I grew up playing on, so I'm comfortable with it. And then the scenery here is beautiful, the landscaping's breathtaking, and everything about this tournament so far has just been incredible. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow and competing with some of these guys, and just gonna have a really good time.
Perfect answer, by the way. Perfect. We love the answer. Sam, you have anything for Chad?
One question. So, Chad, you've been playing a lot of tournaments all summer. How does this field compare to what you've seen throughout the summer?
Yeah, I mean, this feels maybe like a little bit step up. You know, we're having interviews here, we're getting days practicing, we're having the fans come out and watching our practice. So this feels like you're making it big time or something. We have two really high-level pros out there, and I can't wait to just hit a few balls with them. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Perfect, Chad. Great to see you again. Good luck, buddy. Maybe golf again. Take care. And now we are bringing on Mr. Michael Zhang, who I had the pleasure of seeing last weekend also. Michael, how you doing? Good. How are you? Good. Nice to see you again. Yeah, you too. and good results last weekend. I mean, you had to be thrilled with your results at the Metzger. I mean, you really gave Tyler, the winner, zinc, all he could handle. I mean, first set was 7-6. I think second set was only one break. And as you told me, you're a rising junior in high school. I mean, that's amazing results. You won a couple. Well, you won one national championship hardcourt, I believe, up in Boston. You told me. Came in third down at the Winter Hards in Orlando, Lake Nona. Okay. Tell me a little bit about your experience at the Metzger and how that differed from your national experience. And tell me about what you're kind of expecting this weekend, which might be a step up from there too. By the way, I don't know if you listened to my broadcast. I was extremely proud of a high school kid being able to hang in there in the semifinals over there in Metzger. So, thumbs up to you. But give us a little bit of your perspective of what's different from the national 16 and unders to where you're playing last week and maybe this weekend.
All right. Thanks, Hutch, for the introduction. So I feel like one of the main differences between winning nationals and the Metzger Open was the players. I was playing guys that were my age and like 16s, obviously. And at the Metzger Open, there were a lot of older guys and like professional players. I got to play Jesse Witten, which was a really great experience for me.
And you beat him.
Yeah, man, I beat him. It was a very tough match, but I got it, edged him out in the third. But that's one of the main differences. I think everyone there is physically stronger than me, older than me, and if they have more experience, that was the main difference. Is they all hit like the same level of balls. Some guys at the 16 and unders, I can just easily overpower them, but that wasn't the case at the Metzger. And I feel like at this tournament, the level is even higher. We have some top 100, top 200, 100 ATP players playing, and everyone here is already either in college or graduated. So the level of experience they have is just a little bit higher than mine, but we'll see what I can do. Hopefully give my best effort.
Well, I was a little doubting your efforts last weekend, only because of your inexperience in these big tournaments, and you shut me down because you showed a lot of maturity in that match. I was really proud of you. Even in a loss, I was really proud of what you did out there. as you move forward, is there something you're going to do to pick up your game? Is it fitness that you need to do? Do you feel you need to put more muscle on? Is it mental? You need to hit more balls? Is there something that you see in your future as you go through high school that's going to take you into college and then maybe into the pros, if that's what you want to do? What do you see in the future as far as what you need to do to make your game better as a rising junior in high school, which is unbelievable for me that you're a rising junior?
Yeah, so going into the future, I think some of the main things I would like to do is for sure get a little bit stronger and put on some weight. Right now I'm like a little bit lanky and a little bit thin. I think an extra 20 pounds would be great help for me, getting a little bit stronger, so I continue to play like a couple hours, and then on the next day I wouldn't be as so tired or sore. That would definitely be a great help. And additionally, I think the start of the point, the serve and return, I need to get better at. Once those two things fall into place, I feel like I can rise to another level and take on the bigger guys.
And I know as a junior in high school, I don't think the D1 schools can come and bother you yet. But you did mention to me that you might be looking at, you'd like maybe Stanford or Columbia to talk to you a little bit. Let us know a little bit about what you want to pursue after high school. It sounds like college?
So actually, the D1 schools, I think they shortened it this year, starting June 15th of the summer. They're allowed to contact me, so I've talked to like a lot of schools already. And yeah, so Stanford, Columbia, Harvard, you know, all the top schools. I feel like right now my mind is like super open, but Stanford has always been one of my top schools since I was like super young. And Columbia, I've talked to the coaches a lot, and I know some of the players on the team. And all the other schools, I'm starting to get to know them better, so I get a better experience. And I would obviously like to play college. I think at least a few years of college after I graduate high school. I don't want to transition straight to pros. I feel like the developmental process in colleges would be super helpful for me. Like the strengthening and stuff would be super helpful, and yeah.
And I think if you get a chance to talk to Dennis or Ty, I mean, I think they could probably offer some wonderful perspective as to what to do. Because I talked to them a little bit yesterday, and I think they feel it's pretty important actually to stick with the college as long as you can. Sam, what have you got? You good?
I'm perfect. Yeah.
Good to go. Michael, we're really proud to have you here. Really glad that you filled in here for us. We're really looking forward to seeing you play on the hard court. And I believe this is your better surface as opposed to the clay courts, right? Yeah, because you won your stuff on hard court stuff. Well, best of luck to you, and thanks again for coming. Tell us about what you think about the court situation here right before you leave, and the backyard here, and Dr. and Judy Yemke's, and what you're looking forward to again.
I'm super thankful for the opportunity to play here. Thankful for the MPs allowing us to use their court. Super nice court, a lot like the US Open courts. The colors are the same, and these courts are like a little bit slower, which I guess I like because I get more time to set, especially against some of the older guys who hit a big ball. So the court's super nice. Couldn't ask for better courts, and so I'm super thankful for the opportunity. I got the call last minute, so yeah, it's great.
Good deal. Well, thanks a lot to Michael, and best of luck to you too, buddy. Take care. Now we've got Mr. Alex Lawson. Pretty good. How are you doing? That's good. Nice to have you here. From South Bend, as I understand, and obviously Mr. Pat Shields, who is our big sponsor here, wanted you to come here, and he's thrilled that you were here. We got a chance to talk to him a little bit yesterday, which is pretty cool. So tell us about a little bit about your training. I think it's in South Bend right now, as you and I talked a little bit. And tell us again what happened when COVID came and kind of pulled the rug out from underneath you. I know you're more of a double specialist than singles. Been working on that pretty hard. You got a nice partner that you're working with. You've been having some success, you told me. Tell me about the success, or tell us about the success that you were having, where you played, where that success was, and how kind of devastating it was when COVID came and just kind of stopped you in your tracks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would say it was any more devastating for me than anyone else, but I think my partner and I, we just started playing together at the end of last year. Played a few tournaments together. His name's Lloyd Glasspool, a British guy. And like I said, we were doing pretty well. We felt like we were building pretty good chemistry. Starting to practice really well, get a lot of good matches together, and then we won a tournament together in January in California, and then had a few more really good results the next couple months. Well, the next month of February. Made a few semis of some bigger challengers, and then lost in the finals of the last tournament that we played in Columbus. And then that's when everything started getting canceled after that. So yeah, like I said, we had some good momentum, but kind of just ended there for a little bit. And at the beginning we weren't really sure how long everything was gonna go for, the breaks of not playing. So we were kind of just trying to play it by ear and see when we could get back out there. But then, next thing we know, we've been sitting here for 3-4 months, so it's tough.
Yeah, that is very tough.
So where do you expect to be going from here? And obviously you're looking for good results here. Hopefully a serve and volley. I'd love to see that because I was a serve and volley when I grew up. But what happens to you after this? Where is your next tennis step taking you? What are you looking forward to? Where's the next doubles venture for you? One of the things that I was really surprised at, you don't know if you're actually going to get into these draws until you get there, which is absurd to me, just absurd. But that's another conversation we can have.
I could go off on that.
Yeah, I figured you could go off. But tell us what you want to do from here, how this may be a stepping stone. What do you do actually after we get done Sunday?
So yeah, after this, I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm still waiting to see about a wild card for the U.S. Open. And then if that happens, obviously I'll be there in the bubble playing that. And if not, I'm not really sure. They just canceled a bunch more challengers in the U.S., so it looks like there's not going to be any playing opportunities here for a while at that level anyways. I believe they canceled the futures as well. So honestly, my plan was to try and get over to Europe if possible, but we're not allowed in the EU right now. So, I talked to some of the ATP tour managers about that, and what their suggestion was to get to a country like in Europe, like Eastern Europe or something, that will let you in, and then stay there for the quarantine time, like a week or two, whatever it is. And then at that point, you'll be allowed in to, where they have the tournaments like Italy or Czech Republic, something like that. So tentatively, that was my plan, was to try and get over there just to play. I really haven't competed much since everything was canceled at the beginning of the year. So that's kind of the goal first and foremost. This will be my first event back. It's like you said, I'm playing doubles mostly, but this is singles. I really want to get back on the doubles court as soon as possible, but at this point, I don't really have a good answer for when that will be. So
Great opportunity.
yeah, hopefully, yeah, exactly.
So then before I let you go, it's a great story. Obviously, All-American out of Notre Dame, Mr. Pat Shields place, revert place, Mr. Pat Shields. and obviously his wife too, Terry McGlynn, and the whole thing here. But a great story on how you met Shields. and how the tennis team met him, and how you got here, and the contact you made with him. I appreciate that. I think the fans might appreciate that too.
For those of you that don't know Pat Shields, we were talking about this. He's the energy guy. He's a big energy guy. So really fun personality to be around. And I met him at Notre Dame. I think I was either a senior or maybe I was graduate at that point. But after I graduated, I was still back there all the time. So he's there every year for football games, and he's got a great tailgate set up there. So yeah, we hang out all the time at his tailgate, and that's kind of the big spot for the Notre Dame tennis team. They like to go there every once in a while, so it's a great time. It's very fun. He's a fun guy.
So needless to say, the Shields takes good care of the tennis team at the tailgates. Is that right? Okay, that's what I thought. Great story. Sam, any questions here for Alex?
Yeah. How unique is this setup for this weekend? I mean, not every tournament you're playing in someone's backyard with limited access.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely unique. I think I've seen a few setups like this over the last couple of months during the quarantine in different places. I saw there was one of these types of tournaments in California somewhere, and then I think same like a backyard thing in Florida maybe. But it's amazing setup. You couldn't ask for anything better. The court speed is perfect. It's in great condition. They got everything we need, so it's very ideal for us. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks.
Thanks, Sir Alex, and good luck to you too. Yep, sure. Take care. Next up, we've got Mr. Roy Smith.
Oh, he's the last one.
Is Roy around? He's coming? There he is. See, here comes Roy. I was going to call him Mr. Sleeping Giant. That's just a little joke between he and I. There's a park up in New Haven, Connecticut, the Sleeping Giant State Park, which is right next to the Quinnipiac College campus where my daughter went. And when I was talking to Roy yesterday, come to find out he's only about 5 or 10 minutes away from the Sleeping Giant State Park, which I hiked many times. So we've got a little similarity going on there. So, Roy, you're here obviously for the first time. This is our first time event here. You're coming by way of a year at Baylor. Is that right?
Not anymore.
1 year, though, you spent there?
Yeah, 1 year.
Okay, and after that year, you decided, I think you had some pretty nice success at some of the futures events and things of that sort, and you thought at that point you might turn pro. And tell us about the transition from that first year at Baylor to maybe your couple years out here in the Pro Tour. How has that gone? What difference is it? What things do you have to do to yourself to make you more competitive in the pro ranks than you did at the 1 year at Baylor? Help us out with that.
Yes, I feel like the game is more physical on the Pro Tour. Just having more of like an aggressive mindset. I just felt like it was a good transition between college and college tennis and pro tennis. Baylor really helped me with the transition, and I have like a very good team, so they really helped me out with the transition between going to school and like just structuring my schedule. So yeah, I really like want to thank my team for really like helping me out with that.
Okay, so obviously COVID, like everybody else here, has put a real dent in your schedule. So where were you when that hit? What futures or what other events were you planning on playing? And how did that stop you in your tracks? Number one, and then number two, how did you find out about this? And I think you responded to this pretty quick once we got to you. But tell us where you were, what you had planned, and how this COVID thing just stopped.
I had plans to play Columbus, the Challenger in Columbus and the Challenger in Cary. When the COVID hit, everything got canceled basically, as you know. And I found this tournament out from Sean at USTA, and he talked to me and my mom about it, and I had to jump on the opportunity. You know, this is really nice. So I really had to jump on the opportunity to come and just see where I'm at and just compete really well.
So are you training back in New Haven right now? Is that where you're training mostly? Or actually, you said down in Florida, I think, right down at the U.S. Tennis Center. Okay, very, very nice. So what are your thoughts when you come here to Reading, PA? My guess is you've never been here to Reading, PA before, and you're ending that time playing in a backyard, a tennis court in a backyard. So your thoughts coming in as opposed to your thoughts now that you are here. Tell us a little bit about what your pre-thought was as opposed to what now when you get here and see this.
I had never heard of Reading. But when I got here, I was just amazed about like the houses and like the community is really nice. Everyone here is really nice. Yeah, like I was just amazed. Like I didn't know anything was like here. I thought it was in the middle of nowhere, and then to see that there are a lot of just good people and like nice houses around. It's I really like it.
How about the court surface? Tell us about that compared to what you're playing on, similarities to U.S. Open.
Yes, the court is pretty similar. Like it's slow court, so it's very, very similar.
Good for your game?
Yeah, it's very good. Very good. Yeah, definitely very good. Helps me, move forward on the ball, hit a little bigger strokes. Yeah, it's very good.
Okay, Sam, any questions here for Roy?
So throughout the sports world during quarantine, guys have been getting creative on how to train. Did you need to change up anything? Did you do anything unique that you maybe hadn't done before in these last few months?
I started working out in my house and just doing as much like just push-ups, sit-ups. I was running a lot, just really doing anything to keep in shape. Like catching up on my reading and doing the stuff that I really didn't have time to before.
Is there any way to simulate the intensity that you find in a tournament, or are these hits that much more important in a tournament even like this?
Yes, definitely. I think. Sorry, can you repeat it?
Yeah, just so is there any way to simulate the hits you'll get this weekend and the looks, or is it these type tournaments are even more important than they've ever been because you haven't seen the competition in the last few months?
Yeah. These 10 tournaments are so important right now. Like if you're not around like the environment of good players and the tournament environment, you can kind of lose your edge a little bit, which is like very important in tennis. You need it's like 55% of points won is the difference between winning and losing. So yes, it's very important. It's very nice.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, Roy. Hey, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice to have you in town.
Great to be in town.
Okay, good.
We got about 5 minutes to these guys. We got Dr. Empty's going to come over. He can ask us a couple questions.
Oh, great. That sounds great. Okay, next up, we've got Nick Bible.
Am I good to slip in?
We're going to get him. We're going to let these guys finish and
Okay.
you can do these questions.
Okay, we want to have
Ryan, am I
Dr.
good?
Empty up.
Ryan, am I good to slip into the court? Yeah. I'll stick around for Empty.
I think if you slip into the court, if you get hit by a ball, it may kill you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Is someone going to be hitting after this group?
yeah.
Okay, as long as I can get a couple other guys.
I don't know if you wanted Nick or anything like us. The local guys.
Yeah, no, I just didn't know if that
Yep.
was the last.
Nope. We got
Last
these
practice
two
group.
guys are going to finish and then we're good.
There goes Dr. Ron. So Dr. Ron Emke, we appreciate you coming over here, sitting down in a chair, and obviously really appreciate the hospitality here for you and your lovely wife Judy having us in the backyard. The backyard is just gorgeous. I mean, I've looked at the couple places they played in Florida on television, Tennis Channel, and this far outpaces those with beauty and everything. I mean, your hospitality has been wonderful. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you and to talk to you a little bit. I appreciate talking B-52s yesterday, the bombers and things, but tell us about your thought process when either your son Dave or Ryan proposed this to you out of the blue, that we're thinking about maybe having a pro event in your backyard. Tell us about what went through your head at that time.
Well, I actually recall the day we dug for this tennis court back in 1972-73, and we played, the kids would play, and I was minding my own business, working, studying, and doing the things I normally do, and someone asked me if I'd want a pro tournament in my backyard. I said, what, are you kidding me? And another person asked me, is this on your wish list, your bucket list? You know, being I'm 80 years old now, it's my bucket. You couldn't even put this on a bucket list. Who would you be thinking a pro player would want to play in my yard? So I have the day off, and I'm sitting here and enjoying this, and it's just really quite a thrill. Everyone here is so nice. The players are great. The talent level is so high. I mean, it just it blows me away when I see this. I could watch this practice all day. You know, I'm not rooting for anyone in particular. I just want to see good tennis. So, it's been a pleasure.
And when you watch, I think, and when you hear the ball being struck the way some of these guys hit the ball, boy, it's a different hear and a different sound of the ball when these guys hit it as opposed to myself or Dave or somebody. I mean, it's like a cannon going off on some of these guys, which is the difference between obviously the amateurs and the pros. Pretty thrilling to have them here. Now, any apprehensions about having the media here and people in your backyard and COVID and all that stuff? That tell me, you know, there's got to be a little apprehension there with having all these strangers in.
You know, my wife, who does most of this work in maintaining our yard and so on, along with Brian, her helper, and for me, I just come home from work and whatever happens, happens. But I wasn't particularly worried about it. But everyone has been so great, and everyone's taking care of things. I really haven't had to do anything. which is unusual compared to my work where I have to do almost everything. And it's just lovely here. And the pop of the ball and the pace, when one thinks, medically, when I think scientifically, what it takes in the cortex and other areas of the brain to be able to hit a ball coming at you at these speeds with spin, angle, wind, and you're running and moving, it's just incredible to me how difficult and how easy these fellows are doing this. So I just admire this tremendously.
Yeah, I fully agree, and there's a reason they're called pros, and you can immediately see, well, number one, that they're probably pros in socializing too, because they're great people to talk to. Once you put them on the tennis court and see their mechanics and things, and listen to the ball, listen to that sound that it makes when it comes off their racket, there is a difference between an amateur and a pro, and here we can see it. So those people who haven't seen it, we still do have some available seats. Please make sure you get out here and talk to us about getting here. If you're here in person, you can hear this and see the pace of the ball, the speed of the ball. Watch these guys run around here at lightning speeds compared to us amateurs. Yeah, it is really a thrill to be out here. And again, the beauty of your yard, it really can't be explained. You can't really see it on television. You need to get here if you get a chance. There are only a couple seats left. So get here if you can. If you can't, please watch it as we live stream. But we're really very thankful to you and your wife for letting us have this opportunity. I know Ryan Nahr, it was his brainchild here that set this whole thing up. And for us to think about having a pro event here in Reading, we hate that COVID is here, but again, COVID gave us an opportunity to have this thing here, and fortunate enough that we're close proximity to New York City, and we actually put it right to the right spot timing-wise for these guys. So thanks again, and if you can say one or two words as far as getting some people out here watching this event, let them know why they should do that.
Well, I've been going to the U.S. Open since it was at Forest Hills. You might not be old enough to remember that. But and to get there, and you scramble to try to get a decent seat at a much higher price, plus paying for hotels and transportation. Here, you're virtually against the court, and you can see this brilliant level of tennis at your leisure. You don't have to worry about getting up and losing your seat or anything. It's all right here in front of you. And the staff, Ryan and the rest of you have been so nice. It's been a pleasure to deal with this. I'm so glad that we did this. I hope we could do it again in the future.
Another great response. Absolutely. Thanks again for having us. We're thrilled to be here. I know we got to congratulate Ryan again for making this dream actually come true, which is just incredible. So thanks again there, Dr. Ron. We'll be seeing you today, tomorrow, and Sunday also. That's great. Okay.
I'll do about a 2-3 minute filler, and then we'll get Nick in here.
Okay, that sounds good. We're going to welcome Ryan Nahr in, President of BCTA, Tournament Director. I will turn things over to Ryan right now. Here you go.
Thanks, Hutch. We're going to get 2-3 minutes here. Guys are just finishing up. We'll get Nick Bible over here in a second. And just...
Let me get a picture of the butterfly on his hat. Right on his hat.
Right on my hat. Look at that.
Focus on that butterfly.
Just wanted to give everybody again the opportunity. The live streaming is going to be anybody watching on the live stream here, but tomorrow it's going to be 8:30 in the morning with Don Hutchinson here, live with Starbright Media. First group going 8:30 to 2:30, 2:30 to 8 for the second group. And again, really excited here to be putting this on. Looks like a beautiful weekend of tennis ahead of us.
Appreciate that there, Ryan. And we probably couldn't have thought of much better scenario than what we've got right now. I mean, the place looks great. It's always looked good ever since we've been over here. The guys have been absolutely outstanding to talk to and to socialize with. We couldn't have a nicer group of guys here. We hope their tennis game actually matches their social abilities. And I believe it does. So we're looking forward to things kicking off tomorrow. And now if Nick Bible has a chance, he can wander over here to the seat. We will pepper Nick with some incredibly difficult questions.
He's our local guy here, too, originally from Lancaster.
That's right.
The closest guy. He's commuting from home.
Nick originally from Lancaster by way of Bucknell, I think.
Yep.
A couple of 2-year conference champ out of Bucknell.
Two-year player, multiple-time player
Player of the Year at the Patriot League.
Here he goes, and nice, he comes over with the American flag draped around him. Yeah, hey, woohoo!
Tomorrow's Batman.
Tomorrow's Batman.
Oh. All right.
So here comes Nick, fresh off the court. Hopefully you got a good hit in.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was good?
Yeah.
You ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Okay, ready to go. So you're coming out of the Patriot League, a couple of years conference champ out of the Patriot League, and decide to make a leap from there into pros. And let us know how that's gone for you. I think you've been fighting off a little bit of an injury this year or something like that. So as far as the transition from Patriot League into pros, and then your injury situation and COVID, give us a little bit of an idea what you've been going through over the last couple of years and training and stuff like that. Just stuff that a local guy has been going through to try to make it here on the Pro Tour.
Gotcha. So one of the toughest things coming from college to pro is not having someone structure your entire day for you. You know, like the hardest thing was showing up to practice. And now it's like you have to structure your own practice, you have to find practice partners and organize your own tournaments and everything like that. Before college, like, you just have to figure out when to eat and hopefully go to sleep on time. So that was the hardest transition. I feel like it took me about two years to really understand that whole process. And then now, like, from there, like, I've been feeling I've been doing pretty well. I had some momentum at the end of last year, winning a futures and doubles and kind of moving forward in the doubles. Kind of focusing on that a little bit more, and then this year I did have a back injury in February, put me out for a good 6 to 8 weeks, and then luckily I think I might have been the only player that benefited from COVID, so it gave me time not to really rush back from my injury and gave me time to rehab. So, and then I just kind of started playing here in the last week and a half. I was teaching all summer, but yeah, I'm really pumped to be back here in Lancaster, Reading, and be in my hometown, and play this wonderful event.
So my guess is that out of the blue, you got a call from Ryan Nahr, and he said he's got this event coming up, and he wants you to be in it. So
Every event.
Every event. So,
It's not getting a call from Ryan out of the blue is not.
No, that happens more than once in a while, right? So tell us a little bit about the conversation that you had with him, and whether you felt you were ready to get back in here. And the back injury, I think almost anybody that's played golf and or tennis at a high level has probably had a tweak in the back at some situation. Did that come about by overplay? Was it just a freak injury? Tell us about the back, what you've been doing to get it better. And obviously it's not hurting you right now, else you wouldn't be on there trying, you certainly wouldn't try to take anything away from your future by getting out here too fast. But tell us, was it a specific injury on the back? Was it just overuse? And what you're doing with it and how it feels now?
So I slipped a disc in my L5 back in December. I was weightlifting in the gym trying to get ready for preseason in Miami, and just kind of felt it and thought it was just muscle tightness from not doing anything really for a few weeks after the end of the season, because I decided out of the blue to go run a marathon. And my dad presented me the opportunity. He's like, hey, you want a trip to Hawaii? You just have to run a marathon with me. I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I went into the marathon running pretty cold, completed that, and then rested myself for about 2 weeks, got into the gym, and then about a week later, that's what happened with my back. So I wasn't really sure exactly what it was, but kind of knew the general idea of what it could be. But went to a few physical therapists down in Hilton Head, got on the right track, and then just been doing as much as I can on my own, strengthening up my back, my core, really, to try to help stabilize everything back there. But yeah, I feel in a good place right now. I mean, Ryan presented me with the opportunity to come here to play, and I was pretty pumped. And when he told me the field, I was like, yeah, sign me up. Like, I want to be there. And I get the call like last minute, and because I just started training, I was like, well, Ryan, I just started practicing like a week ago. Are you sure? He's like, yeah, just come up here. Like, it'll be fun. I'm like, okay. So I'm really excited to get out here and see how we do in these next 2 days.
Yeah, we're thrilled that you got in here. Any local guys we're always thrilled to have. And tell us a little bit what you think about the facility here, the backyard here in Wyomissing, and how this compares to some of the other venues where you have been. I know you've been over in Europe a reasonable amount, but how does this facility compare?
It's absolutely beautiful here. It's probably one of the nicest courts that I've played on, and being across around the world and playing in a bunch of different venues, but nothing compares to this. I mean, MQ's did a great job here at the court. I mean, you guys putting on an event like this here, it's wonderful. To be able to come here and really feel like this is part of like this is like a challenger, possibly ATP setup. So it's pretty cool for me to be here. I forget the next question.
That was it, just
your
comfort level here?
Oh, cover level is very high. I wasn't sure how I was going to be doing here on camera. I haven't been on camera since college, which you can go to YouTube and see me fumbling over words left and right. So I like to think I got a little bit better, but not quite sure. So I'll leave it up to you guys.
No, you've done a good job, and my job is to make sure you don't fumble. My job is to put you at ease, and I'll do the fumbling.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are fine. Just be social and fun, smiling. Tell us that we've got a pretty nice facility here, and we will treat you well the whole weekend.
Did I check all the boxes?
You checked them all. You got them all checked off very nicely. I'm proud of you for that, as a matter of fact. And good luck to you.
Thank you,
We appreciate you coming over.
Thank you.
And yeah, have a great weekend.
You too.
Thanks.
Real quick, got one.
Sam's got a question.
Is this the closest kind of professional matches you've played to home, or kind of in that realm?
Yes. I will say this is probably about 28 miles from home. If that, I don't even know actually. I don't know what Google Maps said this morning. But yeah, this is the closest level, highest level of tennis I've played nearest home.
Now, this summer people have been very creative. Do you think these type tournaments are something that are sustainable and can move forward in possible summers, maybe future events in Reading?
Absolutely. I think this type of tournament setup is perfect. People going into the like bigger tournaments or just over a weekend instead of tournaments spanning across the entire week. Here we are, we come out for 2 days, play 3 to 5 matches at high level, and we come out here and compete and then move on to the next event within 2 days. This is great for people for either competing, a tune-up, or warm-up, whatever they need. And I really think that this could be the future of what we can be seeing in the next few years.
Thanks. Yep. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, Nick. Next up, we have Harris Trisman. There he comes.
Not shy of the camera.
Harris, how you doing?
Good, how are you doing?
Hutchtown Hutchison, very good. Nice to have you here. Middletown, New Jersey?
Middletown, New Jersey, that's
Okay,
right.
and you grew up there? Did you go to school there, high school there?
Yeah, I graduated high school there, played tennis there.
Okay.
Then I moved my way down to Florida, played a few years down there, started trying to get on the tour.
Okay.
Eventually made my way up to Charlotte, now that's where I reside.
Okay, so you're in Charlotte right now, training in Charlotte, and it looks to me like you have a bunch of ITF experience at Canada, India, Germany. I mean, it sounds like you've been playing all over the place. Tell us a little bit about the experiences here playing outside of the U.S. and how you've done, and just your experience here on the Pro Tour outside of the U.S. Again, a lot of people are not experienced to that unless you're upper level, and I think our local community here of tennis players would like to hear a little bit about that.
Yeah, look, my overall experience, I started out playing mostly events here in the U.S., when I was 18, 19, or early 20s. And it really wasn't until I branched out and started traveling outside the U.S. where I really started to see the breadth of the level that's really out there and what it really takes. And not even just on court, what it takes to do all the stuff off court and managing traveling and your mental capacity all the while. But what I found is that every new country I've traveled to and new event I've played, I've always come out of it with a great new experience and the new kind of learning that's kind of helped me grow as a player, helped me grow as a person. I think any player who, young player, old player, whoever is trying to get out there and trying to compete really, should have an eye towards branching out and traveling. I mean, obviously there's so many great places here in the U.S. to travel to, but it's a big world. You got to get out there.
So when you're over in Europe, did you spend weeks, months, years over there? Because it looks like you kind of had a pretty extensive career in one of the leagues over there or something. So tell us the length of time you spent over there. Obviously a little bit different than New Jersey. Yes. So yeah, a little bit. My daughter lives in New Jersey, right? So tell us about the length of time that you spent over there and the living differences.
Yeah, so the first time I traveled over to Europe, I ended up spending a full, I think, not 3 months over there traveling. I played summer events, traveled with Nick Bible over there. Okay. Yep. So and it was just a whole different kind of living. I mean, obviously we're going from place to place. You're basically living on the road. So there's a certain level of discomfort that you have to get used to because you don't have your own bed to go home to every night. but you find something that's just driving you to you know, get to that next place and get excited for that next tournament. Also getting excited to see new cities and see new places, because it's obviously entirely different cultures over there. I mean, I spent most of my time over in Germany and met my girlfriend over in Germany, so I obviously spend a lot of time over there still. And going back to what you previously said about the league tennis, you know, that's a varying level. They have obviously different level leagues going all the way up to, you know, Bundesliga, with guys top 150, you know, playing those matches. So obviously a lot of different levels there. But I found that what's so great about it, and what's something that maybe I missed out on, is that when I was 18, I decided not to go to college to play college tennis. I went the obviously a slightly different route than most of the other guys here. I started trying to play on the circuit right away. But playing on this league in Germany, I find that it feels like a similar feeling to what college tennis might be like, you know, having that camaraderie and having those, you know, all those guys rooting for you on the team, and then winning together, you know, maybe sometimes losing together, but all in all, it's such a great experience.
Yeah, super. Must be an incredible experience. And I'd like you to talk a little bit about being brought into this scenario here, and what your experience here is in Dr. Remke and Judy's backyard here. And again, venue-wise, how does this compare to the many places that you saw over in Europe? And what's your feeling about playing here in Reading and Wyomissing, PA?
Well, I mean, I have to say, obviously, first of all, to Dr. Remke, I mean, this is an absolutely beautiful place to be playing a tennis tournament right now. And I can tell you, I'm sure there's a few top 100 players that are probably pretty jealous of where we're playing, because it's not a lot of places look like this. But this is a great opportunity. I have to admit, a couple guys had to back out for me to be able to get this spot. But you know what? I'm here. I'm gonna play, and this is, you know, I'm all the more happy about it.
So we'll talk a little about that. How did Tom Brady become a starting quarterback for the New England Patriots? Right, guy got injured and backed out.
That's right.
Right, so you take advantage of your opportunities.
Yeah. You take what the world gives you and make the most of it. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm so happy to be here to have this opportunity. And I'm so excited to get to play, you know, 3 matches against, you know, really good players on tomorrow afternoon. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
So my next question, we'll finish it up pretty quick. Have you ever played the Fast Four no ad and that scenario where you're in a round robin like that? Against the cool thing about coming here, I think, for the players is they get to play 3 matches against top quality guys.
Yeah.
Pretty quick, goes pretty fast, under pressure. Well, what's your feeling about that?
I've some mixed feelings. I only just recently got involved playing a couple Fast Four events. It's obviously, for what you just said, it's a great opportunity to get to play multiple matches in a single day. I'm not the biggest fan of the quick sets. It's, you know, it's tough. You gotta change your mindset real fast. You know, you go down a quick break, you gotta bounce back right away. But that's what it is. You know, you gotta take the opportunities that you're given. I gotta say though, the no ad scoring always kills me. That's always the roughest part. Not gonna lie, I get a little shaky every time that comes up. But don't tell any of these guys. So.
I've gone both ways on the no ad scoring, for it, against it. These days, because I've been following a lot of it during the summer, I'm a little bit more for it, because it keeps a timing mode. We know how long the match is going to take. And if you're talking about pressure, and tennis is pressure a lot, this is the penultimate pressure point. And then how about World Team Tennis this year? Come down to $1.1 million. How about that pressure? Pretty intriguing. So we talk about pressure. Sam, do you have any questions for Harris?
You guys knocked it all
off. Okay, good deal. Hey, Harris, great to have you here.
Yeah.
Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you very much.
Very nice talking to you.
Very nice talking to you.
Okay, take care. We're going to be welcoming our tournament director, Ryan Nauer, back in here, and we'll probably be wrapping up our press conference very shortly.
Thanks, Hutch, and great job here with the whole press conference. Really appreciate everybody watching on the stream at home. 69 News out here, really appreciate everybody here with that. And it's going to be a great weekend of tennis here. Again, the first official pro event in the history of Reading, outside of maybe our Legends exhibitions. Really, the first pro event, I think, in the history of our county, maybe dating back into the 50s and 60s, a long time ago. Right, so.
We're actually counts, and you're winning money. Exactly. So again, we're really excited here to have this, and thankful for the Empty family for allowing us to put this on at their world-class court here. So for Don Hutchinson, tune in tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. You can check out Hutch
Live on the Starbright Media feed on berkscountytennis.org, and you can see all 12 matches here. So for Tournament Director Ryan Narr, Don Hutchinson, we'll see everybody tomorrow for the Lotto Elite Pro Tennis Challenge here from Reading, Pennsylvania.